I wonder, I don't know the answer, but I'm going to presume that to people who aren't Christian, this is one of the most known stories of our scripture. Perhaps it, and along with the Good Samaritan story, form the most easily related to, perhaps, parables of Jesus, if you could put it that way. I once was in Poland and visited Auschwitz and was privileged enough to be there at the same time to hear a woman named Eva Kor speak. A German TV crew had set up in the corner, and as you are at Auschwitz, it's all pretty hushed as this overwhelming evil is there to be contemplated. And I heard this little voice in the corner, and my immediate reaction was, who's speaking in a place like this? Then I realised, we all began to realise, this diminutive lady, quite elderly in her 80s by then, was talking to the camera. The cameras actually hadn't begun to roll, she just decided to speak. And then there was a different kind of hush as we began to realise, I didn't know her name then, but who this lady was. She was a Holocaust survivor. She'd lost her whole family in that terrible place. She'd gone in as a little girl, an infant really, and she had a twin sister. And so Dr. Mengele had practiced his horrors on many, many people and children, but was particularly taken by twins to see if one would react the same as the other, etc. Somehow she survived that, and she said that many years later, I think when she was 81, she was approached by a professor from Boston who asked her to join a memorial rather, of an anniversary of Auschwitz, and would she mind if she shared the space with not Dr. Mengele, who'd gone, but another Dr. Munch, who had been a Nazi doctor as well at Auschwitz. Now, she struggled obviously with this enormously, and she then became, through her own struggle, an advocate of forgiveness. She said this was a huge challenge to her towards the end of her life to decide, could she actually forgive the horror? She was criticised by other survivors and their families who said, you have no right to forgive. But she said, I have to forgive to finally be free. She then became famous, not that she sought that, but by preaching, really, witnessing to the power of forgiveness around the world. To be able to forgive something like that, of course, tests the very limits of what forgiveness might be, what it could be. I say that because we have this parable here today all about forgiveness and mercy. And so often in our lives, it's so hard to forgive. It's so hard not to be like the elder son in the parable, who, by the way, has every right to be annoyed and angry. But the point of this beautiful story is it's not really about being right or wrong. God knows the truth of situations, and we can too. But this is about a love that bursts all possible calculation, that insists on love never being vitiated, never being overlooked, removed, undone by whatever the act. And that is extraordinarily hard, isn't it, to understand as frail humans who want our version of justice, who want to hold on to hurts and nurse them, and even make them part of our identity to an extent. This is a new identity being offered to us. So often, the history of the world, not just Catholics, but I think religion generally, has tended to have this dynamic that we have to somehow do all these Herculean feats, climb spiritual mountains, metaphorically, literally, to reach to the divine. This desire we have to jump through hoops, achieve tasks, to somehow get the attention of God or the gods. But here we see in this parable all of the scriptures condensed in a way, because it's actually the other way around for our God. He is constantly running out to us, like he does to his Son, who's made so many terrible errors, who's hurt him so deeply. Our God is constantly running to us out of love. But we're distracted, we're busy, we've found other gods along the way. We don't have to climb a mountain, though we might do that. We don't have to. God is here. His love is all around us and within us, striving for us constantly, perfectly, enduringly. So this is the story of the love affair that God has for you and I, for his people. He doesn't hold on to hurts. He forgives. However, his Son had to seek forgiveness. The love of the Father, just as parents have for children around the world, does include loving someone so much that we accept they have the freedom to say no to our love. That's real love. The Father didn't send his men to drag his Son back to come to his senses. He waited. The Son may never have come back. In the story he does, thanks be to God. The rejoicing is profound. But we have a choice. In this story, the prodigal son was dead, but he is alive. And Lent is all about us reaffirming, re-examining our choice. Do I choose to not forgive? Do I choose at times hatred, vengeance, indifference? Or do I choose life, forgiveness, softness of heart, to love others as the Father loves me? At times we are the prodigal son and we're the elder son, but we really are called to be like the Father, to treat others as he treats you and I.